Yo, 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 what is going on, IK fam? You already know we're out here risking it to get that biscuit on the daily. Here we go. The top 15 strongest servers as of July 2021. I guess kind of end of July. Here we go. Number 15 on the list is server 18. They're coming in at 357,162,534. Again, this is for their top 6 alliance projection. And let me let you know as well how I'm going about doing this. So when we go in and we pull data from the servers, we're looking at up to the top 6 alliances. You'll notice some servers only have 4, some only had 5. This is based on member capacity as well. Keep in mind, there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to really narrow it down. But usually if you have, plus or minus 10 or 20 cap from your max, right, if you had 100 over 120, that means your alliance is probably going to be a little more active than someone who's at 60, 50, 60, 70 out of 120. And so that was what we kind of used. Again, there is a little margin of error, but that's what we used to go off of why we included up to 6 alliances, or if we took 1 or 2 off, depending on servers. Now let's look at number 17. All right, sorry, number 14, I should say. I'm getting mixed up here with the server numbers. Number 14 strongest server is server 19. This is them coming in at 359,503,292. So you're noticing not really that big of a difference compared to 18 as far as differential. Right, you can see the number 1, number 2, right, a little bit of a difference there where the number 1 alliance is a little less powered than the number 1 for 18. And then, of course, we have the alliances here. Now, these are in order, so when you see these, this is in order from 1 through 6, or however many that we have listed. Now let's look at the number 13 strongest server, which is S34. Now, we only went up to the first 40 servers for this because once we pretty much started getting to like 37, 38, 39, 40, and the kind of later into the 30s up to server 40, we started noticing a consistent trend where the overall server power from the top 6 projected just started falling below the bubble position here at server 18. So S34, you come in as the number 13 ranked strongest server in the game. Let's look at number 12. Number 12 is server 25. Coming in at 368,608,521. There's their spread for alliances. The alliances in order from 1 to 6. Now let's look at number 11. Number 11 is server 12. Coming in at 369 million power, 611,023. Now let's look at the top 10. Here we go for number 10. Server 31. Coming in at 370,299,966 power for their top 6 projected. And you'll notice that as you kind of start creeping up, right, you're noticing a little bit of a trend, right? The number 6 alliance has a little bit of a higher threshold or bubble position, right? Starting at 27, 26, now 40, 40, right? 31 with the odd man for 12, but then 39, right? You'll start noticing this more and more. Now let's get to the number 9 strongest server in the game, which is server 11. This is 379,534,634 points, or power, I guess I should say. Shout out to my boy Jez there in BXS. And now let's go over to the number 8 strongest server, which is server 27. They come in at 393,897,494 power. Again, you'll notice the spread a little bit more now, right? Pretty close from 357 to 370, and then we start getting a little bit of a bump here, right, from 379 to 393. Now let's take a look at the 7th strongest server in the game currently, which is S28. They come in at 400,875,596 power for their top 6 projected. Now number 6, getting close to the top 5 now. Number 6 is server 23. 404,694,091 power for their top 6 projected. Shout out to Jade fam. What up, yo? All right. Now, getting into our top 5 strongest servers in the game as of July 2021. Number 5, S26. 419,523,424 power, again, for their top 6 projected. Now, the top 4 strongest servers in the game. The final 4, starting off with number 4, server 13. 454,497,810 power for their top 6 projected. Now, the top 3. Dun, 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 dun. Number 3 is S16, 509,844,565. Right, that's my boys over there. Awoo! Coming in strong for the top 3. Now, the top 2 servers here, I'm going to provide a little bit of explanation, right, some factoring here as well after I show, because what's interesting to me is that there was a good amount of connection here for the top 2 that I found very interesting, and I'm going to explain a little bit why. So here we go. The number 2, or the second strongest server in the game, which is, let me click on this here, server 8. They come in at 583,950,188. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for. The current strongest server in the game off of their top 6 projected power is server 6. Headed by my boys BM and Silly, coming in at 607,699,173. Now, the interesting thing here, right, is, and why I say this, is because server 6 was, at least for me, my first server that we brought in a small group of just one alliance's worth of players. One of the things I really liked about our time in server 6 is, we reached out to a lot of people. So like guys in BM, some of the other alliances as well, I got to know them, on a very kind of light personal level, where we were trying to do things like coordinate kind of against the Rogue Alliance and some of the players there for a brief period of time right before they ended up kind of whittling that out and getting to a now what only seems to be a better position than when we were kind of in that situation of fighting through the trenches. And it's nice to see them kind of in this position, because a lot of what we did in the beginning was, we reached out to a lot of the alliances. We tried to bring them into that early council. We tried to explain kind of how we wanted to go about supporting the server and, trying to get everyone to work together, because in that situation, it was really the ideal server that you're going to run into the majority of the time, which is you just have a bunch of individual people, even myself at the time, right? Even though I took the initiative to reach out to players and to kind of get this council formed and this group chat going with other leads from these alliances to try and have some form of unification and communication, along with trying to find similar ideals on how we wanted to approach. In the end, of course, right, there was such a lull period of time, and thankfully, it's nice to see them still not only going, but really exceeding and kind of pushing as far as in power, where they're still active, even for being a beta server. Right, that's what's wild here, right? I mean, again, look at the bubble positions for S6 and S8, 59 mil, 66 mil, right? I mean, even if you just take the 59, that's still 9 mil, or almost 9 mil above S23, right? Which is pretty much the next big bubble position there at 50 mil, right? Then you get to 46 or 47, 46, right, at S26 and 28 respectively. Right, where that's kind of your minimum, right? Again, you're trying to get that as high as you can, right? Ideally, if you're balancing, or depending on if you're running like a mega or 1-2 mega alliance structure, right? And then so I say that in the sense of it's nice to see that one of the original servers that we played in with our group, even though a lot of those players dispersed, some of them stayed in the original alliances, some of them left, some of them went to other alliances, right? It's nice to see that a server that we were in, right, that we at least helped with some of the foundation, even though it's now what I can only imagine has changed and continued to flourish with activity, again, which is fantastic, is still up top. And then you have S8, which, we essentially built the foundation there, right, with, when I put the group together with our 8 alliances that we went into S8 with, and a lot of people know that we sold S8 really hard, right, prior to me leaving, which, again, there's videos on that for reasons why. But we built the foundation there, we built the structure there, even though it's now been modified. And again, still flourishing with activity, right? They're still active, right? Even though they, right, have kind of made fine tunes and tinkering here and there, right, to now kind of go in their own continued direction. Still amazing to see not only 2 beta servers that are essentially the top 2 strongest servers, but that they're still going, they're still active, and they still have, right, player retention there. So again, I love seeing this from these 2 top servers, and I just found it somewhat coincidentally interesting as I was pulling the data, just to see that these 2 servers, right, were 2 that myself and my 1 alliance worth of a group and then 8 alliances worth of a project, right, went into, right, to try and do as much as we could have to support and to develop the servers with everyone in them as we could. But it's nice to see them, again, coming into their own, right, again, advancing, finding their own identity, and most importantly, just active, right? I think it's a great thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to let me know what you guys think down below, right? Did you expect 2 beta servers to be the 2 top servers? Did you expect any of these positions? Are you shocked by maybe some servers that aren't on this top 15 list? Let me know any and all in the comments down below and what you guys think. And as usual, until next time, we'll catch y'all later.